Okay, so late to my own live stream. If that doesn't sum up the last couple of months, then what does? Okay, so we are here and we have 10 people waiting. Sorry for the delay, guys. As you can imagine, I haven't been around for a couple of months, and a lot of it has to do with time. And that is something that I don't have a lot of lately. So I don't know why the camera quality isn't the best, but we'll deal with that. It's been a while since I've had to do anything with social media. So when it comes to camera quality, that's not the worst thing. At least I'm here for the most part. So I was rushing around to set up the camera, probably something I should have done yesterday, but when I get into the explanation of what's been going on lately, you'll probably understand that I didn't have a lot of time yesterday to do this, to set this up and have it looking somewhat professional. Yeah, also my eyes kind of messed up. I don't know, I think I have an eyelash in it, but you can't really see it. So thank you to the bad camera quality for that. Let's see if I can try and make this a little bit more better professional. I think it has to do with how much light I'm getting. Okay, so I'm in the living room right now. I'm alone. Marion gets home from work very soon. But yeah, I'm here. I'm not gone. I haven't given up YouTube just yet. It's just been a crazy couple of months. So I think first off, I don't even know where I left off the last video. Might as well just start from the beginning. So if you have questions, put them in the comments. Obviously, I'll answer them as I go and try and explain everything as best as I can as to what's been going on until now, and see how we go. So I think the last time I made the video, we were in Berlin, and just before that, the news about the German Knights hit, and yeah, the German Knights were no more. I wasn't able to play for the German Knights. The team got cancelled, and I was kind of out of the job football-wise. And since then, I have found a new home. I am now playing for the Leipzig Kings in the ELF, European League of Football. For those of you who haven't figured it out yet from the background and from everything else, I am still living in Hildesheim. I didn't relocate. We didn't leave Hildesheim. That was never the plan. We're still located here in Hildesheim, but I play in Leipzig. So that came through a really great opportunity through Coach Armstrong giving me the opportunity to play there. And yeah, the situation in Hildesheim with the team not forming was difficult, but we made the most of it. That happened kind of at the same point that my channel kind of disappeared. And that was one of the big focal points of why. And yeah, it was due to the fact that now, since the start of the ELF season, or the start of the preparation for the season, obviously the team being in Leipzig, training in Leipzig, I have to be in Leipzig. So I've been commuting back and forth for 3 to 4 days of the week, especially at the start when we had preseason camps on Saturdays and Sundays, trainings Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You know, I was driving to and from Leipzig for training. So for people that don't work, that's not that bad because you can just stay for 4 or 5 days. But I haven't finished working. Obviously, you guys know I have issues with my visa, and I've had troubles in the past trying to maintain my status as a resident full-time in Germany. I still have my job. I still work in a call center. Luckily, as you can see there, I'm working from home. But that doesn't mean that I'm not working, especially when you work in a call center. You have to be available all the time. You can't have your phone out. You can't do anything outside of work. So that is what I'm doing all day here. And then when I finish work, I'm in the car or in the van. We have a van. In the van and driving 2 hours, 45 minutes to Leipzig, training for 2 to 3 hours, and then getting in the van and driving back home. So as I mentioned, I should have probably set this setup. I should have set this up last night, so it looked more professional and tested the video quality and this, that, the other. Unfortunately, I finished work. I had to go to the office yesterday for work, so I finished work at 2 p.m. and then I had to drive home from the office. So I got home at around 2:30, 2:45. I had to put gas in the car, and then I had to eat. I had to pack my things, and I had to go to Leipzig and drive the 2.75 hours to Leipzig, train, and then come home. I think I walked through the door at around 1 a.m. I don't know, 1 a.m., 1:15. I then have to eat. I then have to shower. I then have to get to bed and then wake up again the following day or this morning for work, because I still work. I can't not work. I need my visa. I need to be making a living here because it's not a full-time thing, obviously, football in Europe. So that's been going on, especially at the start of the preparation to the season. That was going on 3 to 4 days during the week. And then also on the weekends, we had camp. So we were staying in Leipzig. So we'd travel on Friday nights to Leipzig, train Saturday, train Sunday, leave to come back home on Sunday afternoons. So it's been pretty crazy, pretty hectic. I think most weeks I'm traveling anywhere from 18 to 25 hours back and forth between the two cities. That's on top of my work hours, and it's pretty crazy. So first off, yes, I understand it's not very German to be late. I'm still learning how to be truly German. Hello to everyone that said hello. I'm looking buff. I'm already on training. Yes, we've been training since April. I wouldn't say that I'm feeling or looking buff. Maybe it's the sweater is maybe a little bit small. But yeah, we are training. We're training all the time. Georg, yes, I'm doing very well. I am alive. I haven't disappeared off the face of the planet. I drive every day for training from Hildesheim to Leipzig. Yes, that is the gist of my explanation just then. I drive every time we have training or anything where I'm needing to be there for the team. I drive from Hildesheim to Leipzig and back. I thought the EFL is European Cup, no. So you're thinking the CEFL, which is a championship between European clubs. The ELF is completely different. It's a 8-team European league with teams from Germany, Poland, and Spain. And we are one of the teams from Germany. So yeah, football is taking up a whole lot of my time, more than normal, obviously, because I'm not playing in my local city. So that on top with, in addition to travel, makes it very, very time consuming. But football is one of my greatest hobbies, or I guess it's a profession because I obviously play it professionally. But that's something that I have to invest my time into and also have to focus on. That training and traveling to and from training, that doesn't include things like film study. In American football, you have to watch film, you have to prepare for every week. You play a different team with different schemes, different plays. So you have to watch film. For example, I think realistically, if you're not watching film a couple of hours a week, you're kind of doing the wrong thing. I think last week I watched around 3.5 hours of film at least. So that's then time outside of driving, because I can't use my phone when I drive, outside of work because I can't use my phone when I work, and outside of actually training that I have to be involved with football. So it's a lot of time. On top of that, I haven't just been playing for the Kings. I have been helping in the background quite a bit since I signed with the Kings and with Coach Armstrong. I've been doing a whole lot of stuff with my extra time if some of you follow Marianne or myself or the Kings on Instagram, you'll see that they've been using a lot of her photos because she is basically been assisting the team as a photographer on game days and also practice. And that's what she's been doing. And then myself, obviously, off the field with things like social media, just the fact that I have some kind of sales and management experience from back home before I came to play football. I've been able to help and assist with a bit of admin on the side. And when you're involved in an organization, when you're involved in a team that starts so late and so quickly, you obviously want to be a part of something that's being successful. So if I have a chance to invest some time into my team that I'm being a part of to make it better, that's what I'm going to do, because I don't want to give no time to my team and then end up being bad. I'd rather give all the time I can and commit as much time as I can, as much as possible, so that not only myself, but everyone else in my team is benefiting from that. And everyone else gets better in the long run because the team can move more smoothly through the season. So that's been another huge time consumer for me, is the off the field stuff that I've been doing with the team as well. Am I looking forward to the first home game? Yes, I am very much looking forward to the first home game in Leipzig. We've sold, I think, over 1,500 tickets now. And actually yesterday, the restrictions have been relaxed a little bit more. So no masks in the stadium required. You just need to have a test within 24 hours from like a test centrum or a Schnell test that's been seen by someone official. There's going to be merchandise, food. You can actually get tickets on the day. You obviously still have to come with a negative test, but everything's set up for it to be a really awesome day for both us, the fans, and the team from Cologne, and the fans that are traveling from Cologne to come and watch the Centurions as well. Super excited, super excited for Sunday. Cannot wait. The first game day in Berlin was great. And the second game day in Poland was also really good. That's obviously another time consumer, is we had to play in Poland. We had to travel to Breslau last week. So we leave Friday morning, and it's from Friday through till Saturday night when we play. It's team activities, organization. You're on the road. You're getting things done while you're traveling, playing on Saturday, and then driving back on a bus for 6-7 hours Saturday overnight. Get to Leipzig Sunday morning, and then obviously we have work on Monday. So we travel then from Leipzig back to Hildesheim on Sunday to then prepare for the week. When I'm out of Hildesheim for so long, there's things like grocery shopping. There's things like getting a haircut. There's things like cleaning the house, cooking, preparing food. All this takes time. And when my time is so minimal already, it makes it very difficult to do the normal things in life and then also do the things that I enjoy doing with my free time, like YouTube, playing video games. These kind of things kind of take a back seat just because as much as I want to make them a priority, there's other things that need to be done for my life to kind of continue on somewhat of a normal path, including sleep, which I'm currently lacking a lot of. Do I like Leipzig? Do you have any time to? I did. One of the weeks that we were first there, when all the internationals came in, I actually took the week off work so I could stay in Leipzig the whole week, because we had 5 practices that week. It was right after off season with all of the lockdown, so I wanted to make sure I could go to the gym with the team, get to know the team, get to know the new internationals, get on the field and kind of get back into that groove, because it is a lot to learn in such a short period of time. So we did have that week to see around the area of Leipzig. The place where the internationals stay up is pretty close to the city center, so we got to have a walk around. There were still some restrictions at the time, so we didn't get to eat at too many places, but Leipzig's a really beautiful city. Really liked it, really enjoyed it. Still enjoy it whenever we get the opportunity to go and walk and get something to eat when we stay there for games and for practice and stuff like that. Really surprising. Really surprised me at how pretty the city is. It's obviously bigger than Hildesheim. It's not as big as Dresden, where I lived before, but really nice. Chris, yes, we play in Alfred Kunz Sport Park, Chemie Leipzig Stadium. So we train on the fields behind there, and then we also play at the Chemie Stadium. So that's this Sunday, and then we have a home game. I believe our next home game isn't for a couple of weeks. We play Stuttgart next week in Stuttgart, and then I believe we play Hamburg in Hamburg. We have a bye week, and then after the bye week, I think we might play Stuttgart at home. So we have a lot of away games the first couple of weeks of the season. So what else is kind of happening? Like I mentioned, it's been a very quiet time on YouTube. I actually have filmed some stuff. We went to the Leipzig Zoo with bad weather, so there wasn't a lot to see or film. I filmed some of the workouts in the gym. I did try to film a game day vlog for the Poland game over the last weekend, but same thing, when you have so much on your plate, not only as a player, but also assisting the team, that free time that I would normally use to film and talk to the camera and get some nice shots and this kind of thing, really is minimized. And then also Marianne being my camera woman, taking photos for the team, that also minimizes the amount of time that she can film for me on the sideline. So it's been a difficult situation, as you guys know. Whenever a difficult situation presents itself to me, it does take me some time to adjust. So that's what I'm kind of doing at the moment, is adjusting and trying to figure out the best way moving forward, how to do it. It's the same thing with traveling back and forth. It was difficult to start with. It still is difficult at times, with the lack of solid sleep, being dependent on caffeine half the time. But it's still, I really, really like the situation that I'm in with Leipzig. I'm starting the last 2 weeks. I started at wide receiver, scored a touchdown against Berlin in the first week, caught some passes, had some nice kicks or some nice punts. I'm really enjoying the opportunity that I'm being given with the Kings, because over the last 3-4 years, I haven't been given the opportunity like I'm being given now to show what I can do on the field. So that does kind of make up for the fact that I can't do all of this extra stuff. At least for me, I understand that my YouTube channel is for a lot of other people, and a lot of people enjoy watching what I do. But when the time I'm investing into other things is kind of paying off for me, and I'm getting the opportunity that I haven't got the last few years, I can't do anything but apologize to the fact that I need to invest my time into different avenues, just because of the fact that it is working out quite well for me. What do I think about the GFL versus ELF drama? I don't think there is even drama. It's not needed. I think same thing for us as a team coming into a city where there's already 2 teams in the city. We've been nothing but open to the idea of players switching and coming and going. We're not trying to swipe players or communicate with players in the shadows about switching over, and all this kind of stuff I think is kind of silly and childish. I feel like a player who wants to have an opportunity to either play at another team more local to them, because there are guys that play for Leipzig, for example, that do live further away, that have played for like hometown teams in the 4th league. They want the opportunity to play in a higher league. So why not come and play in the ELF, because they have a chance to play in a higher league? Or you could also argue the fact that guys that are playing in the GFL at the moment, similar to my own circumstances, haven't had the opportunity in the GFL because of the fact that they've been stuck behind someone in the depth chart, or something along those lines. So they want to give themselves an opportunity to show what they can do. And they want to stay in a higher level of football, so the ELF is there and open to them. So that's also another reason why people change, because they want that opportunity to play. The other big thing is the ELF is not offering or not telling German players that they have to pay to play. A lot of clubs inside the GFL, the Germans pay a yearly membership. I don't know, normally it's something like 200 to 250 euros. They have to pay, they have to hire the gear, they have to do all of this stuff to just to get on the field. That's not the case with the ELF. The ELF, they're franchises. If you come and play, the gear is there. You don't pay to play, you get paid to play. So when there's these guys that are traveling, an hour to get to a team in Berlin and they have to pay and they're not getting a shot, why not travel an hour to Leipzig to get a shot on the field to play and also, get not a lot of money, but get something to, get something back for their time, rather than investing their money in another way. Where do I think the ELF will be in 5 years? Being completely transparent, I think it's going to be a huge international competition. I think it's being run the right way in regards to not only the marketing potential, the TV potential, the potential for the league in terms of partnerships with travel organizations, hotels. It's really taken a more professional approach to the way money is handled, the way businesses are run, the way leagues are run. I see big things for the league as long as it continues on the path it is now. I think a lot of people were very, very pleasantly surprised with the quality of the streams and the game days. Even myself, when we watched the first game, I think it was Barcelona versus Stuttgart in Barcelona, the Pro7 Max game on German TV, I was astounded at the quality and the professionalism of the broadcast. I don't get that broadcast when I watch NFL here in Germany. So when I saw that, HD, even the RAN DE stream was amazing. And that's something that it's taken them, this minimal amount of time to put this professional product on the field. So when you give a league like this a full off season after having a season and knowing where they need to fix and what they need to do to be better, I think not only in the short term, 1 to 2 seasons, but 5 seasons, and more teams coming in, more fans coming in from different parts of Europe, because they obviously want to grow this to a European league where there's teams from multiple or extra countries. I think 24 teams is the goal from, at least 4 or 5 different countries. It becomes international. It becomes a huge marketing opportunity, and it also becomes a huge ability for younger players from those areas to be seen on a professional platform for places like the NFL, the CFL, whereas now there's the NFL pathway and the CFL draft for the internationals, but there's no real way for them to get, I guess, showcased in a professional environment. All they can kind of do is show their athleticism in terms of combine drills and stuff like that, but they don't have a chance to show what they can do. Like a CFL player who's trying to go to the league can play in the CFL and have the footage and the tape and say, this is what I can do in a professional environment. Here over in Europe, there's nothing like that. So you can show them that you're good in the GFL, but the GFL still isn't really recognized as the caliber of what the NFL is looking for. Anton needs to trash talk every practice. We're cool. Anton's been really good. It's really, really fun having guys that I've got, I guess, existing relationships with, or guys that I've communicated with in the past. Obviously, there are a few ex-Monarchs at the Kings that I've played with, or that people I've played with have played with. So it's good. There's always things to talk about. Also, there's ex-Leipzig Lions, ex-Leipzig Hawks, who are kind of rivals, ex-teammates from those two teams. So I think that also helped us come together quite quickly, as a lot of guys know each other. But there's not a lack of trash talk at our practice. I mean, it is football. It is contact sport. It is a bunch of guys trying to be better than the others. So there is a fair bit of trash talk. NFL comes to Germany 2022. I know they are planning, but I don't know where. I think they were doing a tally about where they want to have it in terms of the stadium. I think Munich was thrown in the air. Berlin was thrown in the air. But I know that they have talked about it. I don't think it's official though. I know that it's coming to London again this year if everything sticks on the right track. The Dolphins are meant to come and play in London, so I'm still hoping that actually happens because I would love to go see the Dolphins live. Is the feeling on and off the field different to a GFL game? On the field, the field is marked differently. We use NFL hashes. So if you don't know what that means, it's the hashes in the middle of the field. They're actually narrower. So whether you're on the left or the right hash of the field, it doesn't really make a bigger difference like it does with the college hashes, which the GFL uses. So for me, as a punter, that makes a huge difference because whether I'm punting left or right, I have to angle that ball a lot more because I'm further into the field. So as a punter, it does make a huge difference. As a receiver, because everything is a bit more congested in the middle of the field with the hashes, you do have a lot more space either side. So if you are running, for example, for my football friends there, if you're running trips to the one side, so 3 receivers on one side and 1 receiver on the other side, that 1 receiver has a whole lot of space to themselves because of where the hashes are located. Outside of that, the goalposts are skinnier. I'm not a kicker. I don't kick field goals, so it doesn't really matter for me, but the posts are skinnier. In terms of environment, just because of the situation still in Germany with the limitation on fans, it's hard to say. Obviously, the fans do make a huge difference when it comes to games, whether it be GFL, ELF, NFL. I imagine an NFL game with no fans in the stands would feel a lot different than an NFL game with 50,000. So this week we have obviously a lot of fans coming, so it'll be interesting to see how that feels in comparison to the home games I've been a part of in the GFL. Poland on the weekend, being the first, I guess, higher crowd that we played in front of. I think there was about 3,000 there. It was loud. It was good to have fans back in the stadium. It was more of a football environment. But it'll see exactly what it'll be hard to see until there's no restrictions on fan numbers and we can see how popular the actual game is. It's hard to compare. Do you really think that you can withstand the stress in the long term? Part 1. Long term, I mean, the season only goes till September. It has been a long 2 months. I think in terms of balancing my time, I need to be better at that in terms of balancing free time and personal time and not so much work time because I have to work, but time outside of the actual football field. I think because it is something that's so new and fresh, and because I'm getting the opportunity to play more football than I ever have. Obviously, when you're excited about that, you have a whole lot of passion and a whole lot of, I guess, excitement and motivation to do as much as you can. So there is obviously the risk of burning out and being stressed out, which I can completely understand and sympathize for. I think the traveling side of things back and forth, it's not so bad because we are in a group. There is a group of us in a van, so I'm not always driving every single time. But in terms of the burnout of how much work I'm doing during the day and then also on the field and off the field, yes, there is the threat of the stress not being enough to withstand or being too much to withstand. But I also sometimes have to sit back and think about my German teammates. Like these guys, some of them work 40-hour weeks and still come to practice as much as what I do. Obviously, I do a bit more in terms of stuff with the organization. So that does add some stress to me. I'm not just coming to training to train. I'm also doing things on the other side. But maybe I don't know. I don't know how long I could withstand or what I could do. Yeah, the constant driving between Hildesheim and Leipzig and back to bed at 1 o'clock and back to work in the morning. It's pure madness, risk of mental burnout. It will knock on your door at some point. Yeah, and I did feel that, especially yesterday. We had a later practice, so we left practice later. By the time I walked in the door, it was about 1:30. So Marianne's nice enough to prepare me food that I can just throw in the microwave. So by the time I eat, shower, brush my teeth, all that normal stuff, I go to bed at about 2. And I'm not one of those people that head hits the pillow, I pass out. I have to get comfortable. And I'd say I probably actually went to sleep at around 2:15, 2:30. And I had to go into the office yesterday, so I was up at 6:45. So it's 4 and a bit hours sleep after a full day of work and practice. And then that afternoon, after work, I had to then go and travel back to Leipzig to then practice again on 4 hours sleep. So it is a lot. But tonight is a day off. I don't go to practice tonight, so I can sleep regularly, especially after I finish the live stream. I'm going to relax. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to get some rest, much needed rest. And then tomorrow, same thing. We'll travel to Leipzig earlier in the day, and then we'll be able to get a nice night's rest before the game. So I'll have two days of rest to kind of recharge the batteries. I heard honey is good against pollen allergies. Yeah, I have a little bit of, at the moment, as I said, with you can't really see it, but my eye was quite itchy. I have had a runny nose lately, and I also have had a little bit of asthma coming back. It hasn't, obviously, if you guys watch my channel, you know that Germany's trying to kill me, bees, pollen. I have allergies. Hasn't been that bad this year. Haven't had to make a video about it, but it does come and go, especially with the physical activity, with all the pollen in the air. My asthma does kick in every now and again. Where do you see the Leipzig Kings this season? Which team is the strongest in the league? That's a great question. In terms of the Kings, I think the best thing that Leipzig has is zero expectations. I don't think anyone expected us to even field a team, let alone win our first game, let alone be competitive against a team that has won multiple Polish championships and multiple international games. That game was decided by a few plays that really did change the momentum. I mean, we were right there. We had one interception that got called back. If we got that interception and scored, it was a 1-score game. The scoreboard of the last game against Poland doesn't really demonstrate just how close that game was for a long period of time. So we have, obviously, everyone has seen the announcements of our offense. We have a very talented offense. I think people really do sleep on our defense. Obviously, in Poland, we did have a couple of guys out with injury. But I think for a team that has been together for 2 months, anything and everything that we achieve is above and beyond expectation. But the best thing is we have a lot of veteran guys in terms of our internationals and also our local players that understand or understood the challenge that was in front of them, that people just doubted us from day one. So we kind of came in with that mentality of we have to show everyone what we actually are capable of. And, at the end of the day, football is 11 guys on the field versus another 11 guys on the field. The outside stuff doesn't really make a difference when it comes down to what's actually happening on the field. So, and that's kind of what we did. We all try to beat our opponent directly across from us every play. And if you do that and all 11 or all 22 of you do that on offense and defense, you win the game. So expectations, as every athlete, every person has to have in terms of a competitive league, the goal is first off playoffs, and then secondly getting through to the championship, thirdly winning the championship. That's where our goals are. You can't come into a season and expect to be competitive if your goals aren't to be the best in the league. At the moment, which teams are the strongest in the league? Obviously, Hamburg has a great team. Wroclaw has a great team. Frankfurt, a lot of teams. I mean, you saw what Cologne did to Barcelona. If you watch that game, Cologne has a great running attack. We have a great offense. We have a great defense. It's a fairly even playing field, especially after 2 weeks, only 2 weeks of playing games. Some guys are only just getting their feet back under them. You've got to remember, some guys haven't played in 600 days. So it can take a couple of weeks of real full contact football to to get back into season form. So it's anyone's game right now, and I think up until midway to towards the end of the season, things are going to happen. There's going to be upsets. There's going to be surprises. You just can't really call it at the moment. One game can change everything. So expectations, as always, get a ring, play well as a team. Who's the best in the league right now? Anyone's game. Shout out to Marianne for supporting me. Yes, she's been very, very good, especially the last couple of weeks or the last couple of months. There's been a lot of invested time in other things outside of our household. So sometimes our personal and private life does take a massive hit in terms of the time we can spend together. Obviously, if I'm not here 3 days of the week, like she finishes work 4:30, some days 5:30, depending on her shift. Either way, whether she finishes early or late, I'm gone on the training days before she gets home. We don't get to see each other. I leave to go to Leipzig, and then she comes home, does the stuff during the evening with me not here. And then when I get home at 1 a.m., she's already in bed. So that's half the week that we lose in terms of afternoons and time together. So it's, it's hard, but luckily Marianne is very involved and loves football as much as I do. So she understands the situation I'm in regards to the amount of time I have to put into the game. Are we playing against Naus Unicorns this season? No, unfortunately, because they're in the GFL. We are in the ELF. So no, unfortunately, won't be playing against the Unicorns this year. Depending on schedules, I do want to try and catch a couple of GFL games, whether that be locally up here or whether that be going down and seeing a Unicorns game. Because obviously I'm playing in another league, I don't have any affiliation, so I can go and just be a fan in the stands and enjoy football. Whereas when I was playing in the GFL, you can't really go to another team's game and cheer them on fully because you have ulterior motives. You don't want certain teams to win because then it makes your season harder or it affects your season. So really excited to catch some more GFL games. I'm still watching the streams when I can, or skipping through the replays, seeing the scores online. But definitely want to get to either a Unicorns game this year or more GFL games, especially in August when the lower leagues start. I will be at some Invaders games. They're playing in the third league. So I'm definitely going to find myself down at the Invaders games towards the end of the year. Oh, I got to flex my German muscles. Liebe Grüße aus Hildesheim. Ich finde es immer noch schade, wie der Footballstandort Hildesheim zerschlagen würde. Die Persönlich, aber alles gut. Yeah, it's disappointing what happened in Hildesheim. I can't say that it's not. I was looking forward to playing locally. It's just something that's out of everyone's control. When a new team comes up and the coaching staff and the management all get told, tell all of you that this is where everything is moving to. You either come and do this or you're not a part of it. All the guys who play top-level football are going to continue to play top-level football, whether it be named the Invaders or the Knights. The guys that want to play in the GFL 1 or the ELF will shift over with the talent. So that happened. Obviously, the Invaders as a club suffered from that, which is terrible. I don't like to say that it's anyone's fault. But that happened. They had to go down to the third league because obviously they didn't have the talent to stay in the first league, or if they did, it just wouldn't have been pretty. And then after the fact, when all of that happened for kind of no reason because the German Knights never actually saw the field, then it's just even more disappointing for me as a player who played at the Invaders, had lovely time at the Invaders. You can see my jersey. But also just as a football fan in general, living here in Hildesheim, guys who wanted their shot locally. It might have been their first year coming up from the U19, wanting to play in the GFL for their town, for their city, and then having something that's completely out of their control happen and not getting that shot. And, it's 2 years now that they've been backpedaled. They have to then win the third league to go up to the second league to go up to the first league. So it's at least 2 years realistically before the city of Hildesheim gets their team back into the spot that it was, which is disappointing for sure. Eat things with less histamine and it helps against allergies. Would it help if I say I haven't eaten anything today? So I don't think it's what I'm eating that has histamine in it. I think I had an allergy test last year. I think it is just the pollen that comes at this time of the year that my body does have a reaction to. So it's not diet, that's for sure. At least today, it's not diet because I've only eaten like salami. But yeah, guys, that's a lot of the explanation as to why I haven't been here. Also, and many people who make videos or do creative things can also attest to this. When you are out of the game for so long, it is not easy just to pick up the camera and start again. There's been numerous times where I've wanted to make a video, sit down and just talk to the camera about anything or everything, but it's incredibly hard, especially when you don't have someone sitting there talking to you and having a conversation. It's a little easier with the comments because I can kind of have a conversation with people. But when you haven't vlogged or talked to yourself in so long in front of a camera, it is hard to get that creative feeling flowing again, especially when you are under stress in other aspects of your life. Your brain can't function as well as it normally can in terms of being creative when you have other things that you have to do. Dominik, another German comment. So, deine Entscheidung könnte und kann ich voll und ganz nachvollziehen. Ja, das ist ein super interessantes Projekt und den Schritt zu gehen war absolut wichtig. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really listen, I didn't really make the decision that I was going to play 100% in the ELF, no matter what. When the Hildesheim thing happened, I jumped over because it was the best position for me professionally as an athlete, playing in a high level. Everything about the ELF I found incredibly interesting and wanted to be a part of. And when the Knights folded, I was open to any and every opportunity. To say that I was only talking to Leipzig would be a complete and utter lie. To say I was only speaking to ELF teams would be a complete and utter lie. I was speaking with teams from all parts of Germany, First League GFL, Second League GFL, ELF. I just wanted to play football, especially after the 1.5-year break. I was ready to take any opportunity that was presented to me. If there were multiple opportunities, well, then that's where it came to seeing which one was the most beneficial or made the most sense. I mean, if somewhere down in the south of Germany said, yeah, you can come and play for us, but we can't give you any money and you have to be here every single day, that doesn't make sense. So it was really kind of deciding which way to go. I spoke to teams in Cologne. I spoke to teams in Berlin. I tried to speak to teams more locally to me, teams that will not be named. I spoke to teams very far away. Obviously, because I am in home office, there was the ability to become mobile and relocate to somewhere in Germany. So that was an option for us. Obviously, with Marianne, she doesn't work from home, so that decision had to be something that was more permanent in terms of us relocating, not just coming in for a season. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. There was the discussion of doing that with Leipzig, but we just thought for the fact of a couple of months, it was better to, or at least for me, Marianne still cops the brunt of the travel as well, but we just thought it would be better for me to travel to and from, and then in the off season, I can work here locally in Hildesheim and also train here in Hildesheim and get myself prepared for another year. So that was like the decision there. Being a part of the ELF was a huge opportunity. I think everyone that's been a part of it this year is a part of making history of football in Germany, football in Europe. Obviously, the NFL Europe was a huge thing. I wasn't really around football when that was happening, so I can't really comment on what was good or what was bad about the NFL Europe or how it went. But not only from a player's perspective, from a spectator's perspective, and also just from someone who, I guess, has an interest in marketing and business management, I see the ELF as being a huge step forward for football in Europe being seen on a professional level, players from Europe being seen on a professional level, and the game really opening up to more people. Because what you've got to remember is, if the GFL stays the way the GFL is, there's always going to be spots for imports and guys that want to play football in the GFL. If the ELF grows and becomes a 24-team league in multiple countries, it opens the door up for even more people, not just the ones that are in the GFL, but guys from places like Australia, New Zealand. We have me and Lance from my team are from Australia and New Zealand. Opens up doors for those kind of guys who want to prove themselves on a professional level to come over here, because a lot of the time the GFL fills those spots rather quickly and there's no more spots for imports. If there's another league that has 24 teams with, a dozen spots available, that's a lot of spots for guys to come and show what they can do. And if you are wanting to evolve the game in Europe, evolve the game for players, put players in the sights of professional or semi-pro, professional leagues, then you should be happy at the fact that there's more or a bigger opportunity for players to get noticed. If you just want to stay as, there's one league and, the imports stay the same every year, and no one else gets a shot, then you're not evolving the game in any way, shape, or form. If the game isn't competitive and every year the same people are winning the title and you're not doing anything to change it, the game's not competitive. It's not growing the game. It's not doing anyone any favors for a team to go back to back to back to back to back and no one else have a chance to do anything. And because the game's not growing, money's not being invested, those kind of things aren't changing, it's never going to make a difference no matter what happens. So that's why I see the ELF as a really refreshing thing, is it gives people another avenue to go down, and it kind of shakes up the idea of what football in Europe is. Every now and then a stream will be totally fine, especially now in the stressy period for you. Yeah, I think I have to be realistic with my videos as well, because I don't have so much time. My videos not at the moment, but my previous videos, they were 8, 9, 10, 12, 13 minutes long, talking about a couple different subjects. I think I have to get realistic with the time that I have, not only to film them, but also to edit them, because editing is the problem. It's not filming. Filming is still a problem in terms of time consumption, but editing videos does take time. Editing videos to the quality that I am happy with, and that's not even really that good of quality, does take a few hours. And when you're struggling to find an hour here or there to do other things, and then you want to sacrifice a couple hours to make or edit a video, it can be hard to kind of, I guess, tell yourself that's okay. So no, I definitely agree. Live streams would be a really cool thing to do every now and again. And also, I think cutting my videos down to more manageable pieces, shorter periods of time, less detail, just kind of putting stuff there, not making bad quality stuff, but just making stuff that's a little bit more easily consumed and a little bit more easily worked on for myself. Yeah, more players from it's not even more players from overseas as well. It doesn't have to be Americans, it doesn't have to be Canadians, Australians, but even just Europeans. There's guys probably that are living in, let's say, for example, Sweden. Great players playing in the local Swedish league. Want to do what I'm doing, want to be a professional, want to go somewhere, see the world, get some money to play football, but yeah, the GFL only has so many, and GFL is the best in terms of I guess quality when you consider the different leagues. There's Austria, there's Germany, even France is considered one of the larger leagues, but they only have so many spots. So if a Swedish guy needs to go into that league, especially with the dual passport rules where Americans aren't considered Americans, so teams look for dual passports. They've got Americans and they've got guys from Great Britain. They've got guys from Poland or wherever they bring their imports in from. The pool is so large of international players, and also loopholes for players to come that are of better quality So it makes that Swedish players, availability to get into that league very small. Whereas if you've then got a local team in, say, Stockholm, that is in the ELF, that pays their players, that plays on that first league level, and he doesn't even have to be considered an import. He could be a homegrown local player for a team in the ELF that plays on an international stage. That's an awesome opportunity for him and 53 other, or not 53 because they will bring in imports, let's say 45 other guys from Sweden, to show that they can play football at the same level as teams from Poland, teams from Spain, teams from Germany, and teams from wherever else the league expands to. That's the difference when you make it an international competition, not like a CEFL where they just play one game and it's like, best of one game, you go through to semis, you go through to the championship. When it's actually every single week you're playing in international competition against other teams from your area, other areas, you can sit there and say, okay, I just made a play this week on one of the best corners in Poland. I scored a touchdown on one of the best safeties from Germany. Oh, I just had this awesome tackle, or I sacked the QB from the US who has an import O-lineman 3 times last week. Like that's a huge thing for guys to increase not only their playing experience, the talent level, the talent pools, ability to get seen, but also, increase their exposure. Ich schneide meine Videos nicht mehr. Yeah, I wish I could do that. I wish there was some kind of app or something that could just imagine the things I imagine and put it into a video for me. Find the perfect music and put it into the video for me, because it normally takes me like 20 to 30 minutes to find decent music. So I can't do fancy editing transitions because it's too time consuming. Did I play rugby before football? I played Australian rules football, or AFL. So if you want to see fun, I think it's more fun than rugby. If you want to see, it's a weird game, but just type in YouTube after I finish my stream. Type in AFL's biggest hits, and just watch that video, and you can see what I used to play. Totally with you about the GFL. I like the potential of the ELF and where it's headed. Hope you find your spot in the league and maybe a work opportunity for the time after your active career. In terms of work opportunity after active career, it's who knows. Obviously, the league, especially being it's professional, it's international, the amount of guys we have here that have ex-NFL resumes is huge, but also there are the coaching opportunities for local guys. Shadow coaching, assistant coaching. I don't know the ins and outs of, I guess, teams' budgets and that kind of thing, whether there's the availability to bring someone on full time, because who knows? It could be a potential availability. At the moment, I'm more focused on maintaining my visa outside of football with my work from home. But it could be potentially an option. You never say never, but also just be in the now. Obviously, I'm still playing. I think I have a little bit left in me. So hopefully I don't have to make that decision anytime soon. But what else am I going to talk about today? Already discussed about where I've been and what I've been doing. But yeah, guys, it's really just time management is a great thing, and it's a great thing to have. But when you break up the amount of time you have in a week and add it all together, the amount that I have left over, like I mentioned, it takes me a couple of hours to edit a video. Let's say it takes me a couple of hours through the week to film a video. When you've got maybe 2 to 3 hours on average of the day left over, and you need to cook, clean, bathe, other stuff like, go get your haircut, maintain yourself as a human being inside of that 2 to 3 hours a day. When you want to try and get 5 to 6 hours of filming and editing done, it can be difficult. So it's just a time management thing for me. How fast am I on a 100-meter sprint? Wow. I cannot remember the last time I ran 100 meters timed. in terms of 40-yard dash is probably the best one to give you. My fastest 41 dash was a high 4.7. I think right now, if I was to run a 40-yard dash, I don't even know. I'd hope I'd be under 5 seconds. I probably would be, but I'm not sure. So 100 meters, I don't even remember. I think the last time I got timed running 100 meters was 5th grade, to be honest. I have no idea. What else? Any other questions? A little bit of a chat. The other thing is as well, and this is another thing, is obviously YouTube is a great platform for me to spread my creativity, share my stories on, and everything like that. It is also, obviously, a lot of people don't really talk about it too much, but it is a monetized platform. I can make money on YouTube. I can make money through YouTube every single day if I wanted to. I can make, obviously, there's things like Patreon. Apologies to all my Patreons subscribers about my lack or my vacancy away from the platform because of the stress that I've been under. It's something that when I'm not posting on YouTube, it's not because I don't want to, because that is something that, yeah, you can do it for fun, and you can also do it to make money. So doing other things with my time, or investing my time into other things, does cost money. If someone who has a following on YouTube doesn't post a video, that is lost revenue. So it's not that I sit here and make videos for money, because that's not the case, but it is another thing that does happen when I decide, okay, I'm going to take 2 months away from, or I've been away from YouTube for over 2 months. It is an investment of time. You are losing money or losing investment doing that. So I don't take it lightly, the fact that I haven't been posting for a couple of months. It is something that runs through my head. You guys don't get delivered content that you enjoy consuming, and I obviously don't benefit from the creative outlet of making the videos and having that community around me. But as I've always said, if I'm not on here for a week, a day, 10 minutes, I'm always contactable through other forms of social media like Instagram. I'm always active on Instagram in terms of chat. I might not see your message straight away, but you can always message me. I'll message back, and we can have a discussion on there if you want to reach out and ask me questions, anything like that. Obviously, it's a little easier to respond to a message than it is to post up a 10-minute long edited video. So that's the other way. If you're wanting to talk to me privately, ask me questions, anything like that, you can always hit me up on social media. My Instagram is the same as my YouTube channel name, Punning for the People. Schaust du auch die Europe Meisterschaft? I haven't watched a game yet. I know, unfortunately, that Germany lost to England, because I have English friends and they were very vocal in letting everyone know that. I have a friend from work who's Danish, so he's following the Danish team very closely. I saw that very scary thing happen with the Danish captain on the field. So things like that. I think it was France played someone the other day, and it was a very close game. But no, I don't follow soccer. I call it soccer. I don't follow soccer closely. I don't play FIFA. If you ask me to name soccer players, I know players like Lionel Messi and Ronaldo and David Beckham, who probably hasn't played soccer in years. But I don't follow soccer religiously like a lot of people in Europe do. I think there are a couple people in Australia that probably follow soccer religiously, but in Australia, it's more Australian football, rugby, and also American football. I think it's pretty big over in Australia as well. Every noodle? Is it meant to be like every noodle? I'm just unable to play it ever myself. I mean, you could. I mean, I imagine you're saying that you're not exactly built to play football. You could always potentially try kicking or punting. You don't have to be built like I'm big for a punter in terms of most punters aren't 6'4" and 100 kilos. Some punters can be 5'5" and 70 kilos. So you can always try kicking or punting. There's always a good reason to watch sport. I think sport brings a lot of people together. It brings a lot of communities, cultures, nationalities, religions, everything like that together. So I don't think anyone needs an excuse to watch sport, whether it be a local game with, buddies playing, or top of the league European Meisterschaft, for example, with tens of thousands, if not 100,000 people watching. It's official. We are the losers against England. There's like I don't know exactly why they say it, but it's like it's coming home thing. Like, I guess it means because they haven't won the title in so long, they're saying like it's coming home because they're going to win this year. But I think they won 2-1 or 2-0 or something. I can't remember, but I just know that they won. I thought Germany had a really good soccer team. I didn't think England was that good these days. But same thing, I don't watch, so I don't know. I just thought Germany was really good, so it was surprising to see them lose. Yeah, Marianne's home. She's in the other room, so I heard her come in the door. So she's currently just finished work, so we are free now for the next day because I have practice tomorrow. We have a final practice before the game. So for the next kind of 20 hours, we have relaxation time, which will probably be spent watching Netflix and eating food because I haven't eaten anything today. And I need to relax. Also sleeping. Losers train gets Rheinweiser ourselves wrong. That's they're saying they have to find their own way home. Is that right? Like in German, die Losers treten jetzt Rheinweiser selbst zurück. I feel like it means like they have to find their own way home. Is that right? England, Wembley Stadium. That's where we went to the NFL. So if we watched the game in the NFL in 2019. 2019? Yeah, 2019 in Wembley Stadium. It was Jaguars versus Texans. If it happens this year where we manage to go to watch the Dolphins play, that's actually going to be in the Tottenham Stadium. Tottenham Stadium, I think, is where the Dolphins game will be this year. So it'll be cool to see a game in the other stadium as well. Players would break. That's the mentality of a kicker, though. That's why you kick. You do things that don't involve contact. You don't have to ever be hit as a kicker because it's the most protected position on the field besides a quarterback. If you get touched as a kicker, you normally get a penalty against the other team. So they don't want to hit you. That's the good thing. Do I know Utopia, the film from England? No, I don't think so. If you explain the film to me, I could probably say yes or no, but normally I'm very good with films. I think that's one thing that doesn't leave my memory. I'm fairly photographic with that stuff. So I'd say no, I don't know the film Utopia. Yeah, and that's where the volunteers come into it, Alex. When people buy into the league, and there's photographers, there's media, there's press, there's people sharing things about the league. Obviously, I want to do my part as well with videos as well. It does make it more professional. We live in a digital age where people consume a lot of facts, a lot of video, a lot of stories, a lot of news via social media. So when you can portray the league as a professional league, not only on paper, on the field, but also off the field on social media, it can do wonders for the progression of football and the progression of the league. I mean, just look at the Instagram page of the ELF. It's like 60-something thousand followers already verified, and it's crazy. Hundreds of thousands of people watching games every week. And before we even played a snap of football, there was all this hype about how this is the new thing and the new future of football in Europe, and we hadn't even literally put helmets on yet. So it just goes to show the ability of media and marketing what it can do for a league or for a sport. Mediocre since 2018. Simply okay, so maybe that's why I remember back in when was the last European Championship? Was it 2017? Was it every 4 years like the Olympics? Because I remember one when I was in Germany, it was either 2018 or 2017. I'm pretty sure didn't Germany make it to the final or something? I'm sure I remember seeing a lot of people wearing jerseys back then because Germany did something really good. But same thing, I don't follow soccer throughout the year, my years here in Germany, so I can't really say if I'm right or wrong. But I feel like back when I first was it was one of the 2 years I was in Dresden, like the German team was just dominating everyone. It's a story about a virus from 2013. Okay. Would that be the Ebola one? Ebola virus? I don't even know. They lost to Russia in 2018. Was that like in the finals or in like the semis or something? I feel like they made it past because right now I think same thing. I don't know the way the championship works, but there's all the different pools and you have to win your pool to then go like qualify for whatever the next stage is. Didn't they like win their pool and go into like the next stage? And I thought they kind of advanced a fair bit in the championship, but I may be wrong. If you ask me what happened last season in the GFL, or not last season because there was none, 2019 in the GFL or 2020 in the NFL, I can tell you. But in terms of UEFA and FIFA and I don't even know as the Bundesliga, I don't know. I know that Red Bull Leipzig's in the first Bundesliga, and I really want to get a jersey. But other than that, I don't really know a lot about soccer. What else? I'm trying to think of what else is new. What else is like? This is literally like what's happened in the last 2 months. Nothing, because it's literally been sleep and work and football for the most part. Because most of the time when I'm doing something, you guys know about it. When I do something, I make a video and I post about it. And in the last 2 months, I haven't posted a video. So generally that means I haven't been doing anything, which is pretty true outside of football. But because I'm obviously on the field playing football, I can't film. I'm not the team media guy. I'm on the field. I'm doing more this year than I ever have in terms of playing football. So my time is even more valuable because I have to play 2 positions. They were kicked out of the group stage. Okay, so I didn't know that. I thought that they at least made it past the group stage in 2018. But was that the year didn't Sweden play? It was 2018. Yeah, it was 2018 because 2 Swedish teammates and Sweden played against Germany, I think. I don't know whether Sweden won. I think Germany might have won. Or Sweden might have won. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember if they were bragging to all the Germans that Sweden won or not. I think they might have. I think Germany might have won that game. I think. I can't remember. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm really excited for this weekend against Cologne. Super excited to go to Stuttgart and play against Stuttgart because they have a couple of people that I know on the team. I also know the head coach, Coach Hanselman. So it's going to be awesome to go to the Stuttgart, play them. Cologne, obviously, as well. They're American on defense, D'Artes. Met him back in 2018. So excited to see D'Artes again. Excited to see Daniel, the kicker, who I had an Instagram live with a couple of weeks ago. When I say a couple of weeks, it was probably months ago, but time's just flying by. And yeah, super excited for the rest of the season. I mean, like I said, we're only 2 weeks in to a very, not a long season, but when you haven't played football in so long, when you play, 8 to 10 games, it is still quite a long season. So week 2, week 3 coming up, it's going to be exciting to play Stuttgart and then Cologne this week, and then also Hamburg as well. Hamburg has a lot of guys that I've played with or against, so super excited for an exciting season of lots of new things, lots of firsts, lots of history being made. They drew against Sweden in the last minute. Okay. I can't remember because all I can remember is our two Swedish players at Dresden. My teammates did like a little article in the paper about the game. They went to a bar in Dresden to watch the game. And I can't remember what happened past then, whether they won or lost. So if they drew, they drew. That's probably what I believe you if you say that they drew. But no, it's been a crazy couple of months. I wanted to do this Monday or Tuesday. Unfortunately, Monday my time was taken up with football stuff in terms of film meetings and watching film and doing stuff in the background. And then Tuesday was basically spent Skyping family, because obviously I'm still keeping in touch with my family back home, working, and then Skyping family. If any of you follow me on Instagram, I got vaccinated on Tuesday afternoon. So that took up a bit of time as well, going to and from the practice and getting jabbed in the arm. And then obviously coming home, cooking, eating, washing clothes, just general stuff that we haven't done for like the whole week, because we have had the trip to Poland and practice the week before from basically Wednesday through till the Sunday. So it was basically the Tuesday the week before where we had some spare time. So we had to catch up on all the regular stuff here back home, because we were back and forth between Leipzig the other 5-6 days before that. So I wanted to do this a little earlier in the week, but yeah, it was Friday was the next available time after Tuesday. Oh, good question. How's my family doing in Australia during the pandemic? Luckily, I mean, Brisbane just had a snap lockdown. So it does still affect them somewhat. Luckily, my brothers both work in physical labor, so they haven't really had a problem with work. They've been able to work the whole way through. There's been no closures on the construction industry. My sister is currently not working full-time because she's just had her second child. So she's working kind of part-time, I believe, from the last time I spoke to her. So she still goes into the office every now and again. And also she works from home a little bit. And then my stepdad works he owns a company. He works from home, also in the construction industry, so hasn't been affected. So they kind of got out fairly, I don't want to say unscathed, but in terms of careers, work and that kind of thing, it's kind of been business as usual. But obviously things in Australia are a little different in terms of like the number of cases. And I think as long as you're not traveling between states, it's been fairly normal for them. I mean, when we were locked down like crazy, they went to the local pool with my nieces and nephews for a birthday party, and no one was wearing masks and everyone was running around swimming, and we were sitting here not able to go out after 10 p.m. and everything else being closed. It was still strict for them because they weren't allowed to have like gatherings of more than 10 people or no weddings with more than 50 people. But when they speak to us and we say, oh, we can't meet up with our friends because we can't be in groups of more than 2 people, it's kind of polar opposites. But my whole family, they live close together. They've been able to see each other, and they've all, been able to go through it fairly easily. When I say easily, everyone's kind of struggled at least a little bit, but not worse than what other people have had it. I can only imagine there's been some people that have had really tough times over the last couple of years with it. So they've been very lucky. We've all been very lucky, even myself and Marianne, with my job and her job, being able to maintain employment, not really being adversely affected in terms of a professional standpoint. Obviously, I lost the season of football, but that didn't really, ruin us in terms of, I've been able to work. I've been able to stay here. I haven't been stranded somewhere. I didn't have to go home, and then we weren't, separated by closed borders. So we've been really lucky. Obviously, you can complain about not being able to go and see friends or not being able to go and eat at restaurants and all that kind of stuff. But realistically, the most important thing is a roof over your head. food on the table and a job to go to. So we've all been really lucky, at least all the people in my small circle of friends and family. Thanks, Karen. I don't know. I haven't asked Marianne whether you're going to be there on Sunday. Hopefully I see you Sunday. If not, we'll see each other, I think, the next home game, which will be Stuttgart. So I think. I'm not sure. But thank you. Why are there no national teams in American football? There are national teams. They have every 4 years. Normally there's an IFAF, International Federation of American Football, IFAF. There's an IFAF World Championship. The last one was meant to be in 2019. It was meant to be in Australia. Yeah, it was meant to be first it was meant to be in Sweden, I think, and then it was moved to Australia because Sweden couldn't have it. And then teams complained about the travel costs to get to Australia to play in the World Championships. So it was cancelled or postponed. And then obviously everything happening with the pandemic, it hasn't really been talked about since then. But there are national teams. I made the national team for Australia in 2015. In 2017, there was the World Games. And we went to the World Games in Poland, and that was more, it was USA, Germany, Poland, and France were the 4 national teams playing there. But the main one is the IFAF tournament. That's where Japan, USA, Canada, Australia, Sweden, Austria, Germany, I don't think Great Britain was there last time, Mexico, they all come together and play like a Pool A, Pool B, Pool C kind of tournament. Happens every 4 years. So I think the next one should happen in 2023. I don't know where it's going to be, though. Haven't been to Brizzy yet, but in Cairns, does Brizzy have a public pool? I think Brisbane has multiple public pools. I'm not sure where the closest one. I think there's one in Cleveland where my family lives. But yeah, there are many public pools. There's also, we call them, what's the word? I can't, when you don't speak English as much, you lose these kind of words. Not planetarium. It's a word for basically like, it's like a public pool place. I keep thinking planetarium, but I think it ends in the same kind of arium. What's it called? I can't remember, but that's where my family went to for my niece or nephew's birthday earlier in the year. So it's like a public pool area that you can go to with your family. How did it happen that you started American football rather than Aussie Rules? I was working a job. So first I was playing Australian Rules. Towards the end, the second last game of the season in 2012, I hurt my ankle, couldn't play for the rest of the season. By the time the next season came around in 2013, I was already working a job in sales. I was a car salesman. I was working for Mercedes-Benz. Had to work Saturdays from 9 till 4. Every AFL league in Brisbane plays Saturdays at like 12 or 2 p.m. So I couldn't make games. So I had a year off in 2013. And then 2014, I wanted to start playing football again. And hello.
Hello.
Ooh.
Eat your food.
Thank you.
Oh, welcome.
Didn't you make hot dogs last time I had a stream?
No.
I swear
something else.
you made hot dogs.
No, I made pancakes.
Time before that you made hot dogs?
I don't know.
I feel like Marianne made hot dogs the time before
I don't
the
know.
last one. You did make pancakes the last time, but you made hot dogs the time before that, I'm pretty sure.
You sure? I don't know. Can't remember.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so 2014, I wanted to start playing sport again. So I had to find a sport that worked in regards to my timetable. I randomly remembered that one of my friends from Australian football played American football for a year. So I contacted him and he said, yep, call these guys. That's the local team. And it just so happened, good timing. I think I called them about a month before preseason training started. and went down to preseason. Rest is history. Played 2014. Was pretty good. Played the same team again. 2015 was pretty good. That was after 2014 year. I made the national team. Tried to go to college, didn't work out. So then I found myself coming over here. And it was kind of a bit of a blur at the start, but it was really cool. Have you seen Gold Rush Australia? That's like one of like the ice road trucker shows, right? I haven't seen them just because I don't really watch a lot of regular TV since I've been in Germany. I really only watch Netflix, and we actually have Amazon Prime now. So I've been watching a little bit of Amazon Prime, but normally we just stick to Netflix. Mariam watches shows on the laptop. I think they're German shows. But no, I haven't seen Gold Rush. I know there is a show like that. There's Gold Rush, there's Ice Road Truckers, there's Wicked Tuna. That's one that I used to watch. That's a good show. Wicked Tuna. What was the one with the crabs? The Deadliest Catch. That was a really good one too. But no, I don't watch those kind of shows at the moment. Maybe eventually we might start watching regular TV again. But I stick to Netflix more than often. Currently watching Too Hot to Handle on Netflix, and what's the other show that we need to watch? Elite, for all my Spanish friends. Anyone that's tuning in that is Spanish or watches Elite or House of Money, Daniel and Amanda, I'm speaking with you. We watched that with English dubbed or dubbed in English. So how in ice hockey you let weaker groups play against each other in lower groups, and where does Germany actually stand if it can assume that USA? So yeah, I don't think they do weaker groups versus stronger groups. I'm not sure how they pool it in the international competition like the World Cup. I know. I'm trying to think who was in Australia's pool. I think Australia last World Cup we had to play Mexico, France, Japan. No, we didn't. Did we play Japan? Yeah, Japan, France, Mexico, and I feel like it was like North or South Korea. It was what we won one of three or one of four games. We lost big to France, we lost to Japan, we lost to Mexico, and we won the game against I think it was South Korea. I feel like it was South Korea. And then it's the top two from that pool then goes into the next stage. I think the other pool was USA, Canada, Germany. I think actually, Germany was there, and Sweden. I think maybe it was just the two groups. Andreas and Matt. Yeah, she does spoil me, especially with food. She knows the way to my heart. Last night I got home at 1 a.m. to a very nice chicken and rice meal, and the night before I got home to very nice chicken and potato meal. And today we get to relax. She's made hot dogs with all the fixings, with some roast onions, some pickles, and it looks like there's some kind of maybe both ketchup and mayonnaise, or I say tomato sauce and mayonnaise. So I'm probably going to eat this and drop into a coma after I finish this live stream. Amazon Prime has a remake of Utopia from England. So a remake, is the 2013 one a remake, or is the 2013 one the original? Or is the remake like now, like new, like 2020, 2021? You should give Unorthodox and Gambit a try. Gambit. There's the Queen's Gambit. That's the chess one that we still have to watch. Unorthodox, I feel like I know which show you're talking about. Is that about the guy, I think he might have autism? Is that right? I feel like I've seen the trailer, or that might just be called, I think it's called Special, not Unorthodox. I can't remember. Yes, there is mustard. There is mustard on them. I can see the mustard. I can see the ketchup and the mustard. Is there cheese? No, I don't think so. I think I'm weird. I put cheese. I guess cheese on hot dogs not that weird, but I don't think we have grated cheese. But the roast onions are a really good touch. Alex, what's your favorite meal? In terms of unhealthy meals, I think my go-to is pizza, to be honest. I love a good, solid pizza. I normally go for a straight up pepperoni or a 4-cheese. But I feel like I like thick doughed pizzas. Like the dough has to be like soft and thick, whereas it's very hard to find that kind of pizza in Germany. A lot of them are the wood-fired, really thin crust ones. Same with the ones you buy from the store. They're all like thinner crusts. I like stuffed crust, lots of cheese, lots of dough. If you see the cheat meal photo from The Rock, how he's got like the double dough pizzas, like that's my thing. Like if I could get that, that'd be awesome. That's my best like cheat meal. I also love candy and energy drinks. I probably shouldn't drink and eat that. In terms of healthy stuff, I'm partially vegetarian. If you guys didn't know that, I eat probably 95% of the time. I eat a plant-based diet. I really enjoy like fresh wraps, like tortilla wraps, fresh wraps with some kind of plant-based protein on it. So whether it be falafel with like some hummus and some salad, or even like in the stores here in Germany, you can get like soy-based or the similar to chicken or similar to beef meat, and putting that in with stuff like cheese and salad and stuff in wraps. I really do enjoy that lately. And Germany, my go-to cheap and easy and quick meal is Maltaschen. I always make sure I have a pack of Maltaschen ready to go, ready to throw in the boiling water, because I think they're delicious and I think that they're super easy and super quick to make. So Maltaschen is also high up there when I have no time to make big crazy meals. Throwing some Maltaschen in the boiling water works for me. Original is from 2013, okay, and the Amazon one's a remake. Okay, I was gonna say, because Amazon having something that's 2013 remake, that seems like the other one's older, but okay. Remake is new, original's 2013. I'll remember that. Unorthodox is about an Orthodox Jewish woman and Queen's. You did mean Queen's Gambit. Okay, I was gonna say Gambit, Queen's Gambit. Okay, Queen's Gambit. No, we do have to watch that. I'll have to check out the trailer for Unorthodox. I don't know whether I've seen the trailer and haven't really liked it, or but I feel like I'm fairly good with movies and stuff, but I don't think I've seen that one. So Unorthodox. Queen's Gambit is definitely on our list. Only so many hours in the day to watch shows together. And then yeah, Unorthodox. Okay. I thought that saw your Domino's pizza video. Yeah, the big New York pizza, oh, not even New Yorker pizza, the big one from Domino's. Yeah, that was good times. That was first cheat meal in a couple of months, and I went for the giant pizza. That's a bit of me. That's the way. But also, that's the thing, in Australia, they have like a pizza which is we call it Supreme, and it's beef and stuff on it, but it's got a lot of like vegetables and toppings on it. It's almost like I don't know what you call it here in Germany, but it's like cheese, meatballs, or like beef mince, sausage, capsicum, onion. Normally there's some kind of like chili or something on it as well, but it's like a loaded thing with a bunch of stuff. I do like that, but I have to be in the mood for it. But I'm always in the mood for cheese pizza or salami pizza. We call it American, yeah, American pizza. Or see, some parts of America still do the thin crust, but places like Chicago deep dish, they do like the thicker ones. But yeah, like in Australia, when you go to Domino's or when you go to Pizza Hut, you can pick thin and crispy, classic crust, and deep pan. So I normally go deep pan with stuffed crust, because normally when you get stuffed crust, it actually makes the crust even bigger. Pizza always goes always even cold. Yeah, okay. Cold pizza, I agree. Some people think I'm a freak, but I think cold pizza is just as good as fresh pizza. Cold pizza the next day is like tier 2, and then tier 1 is like fresh pizza. I don't heat pizza up the next day. Not worth it. Bratkartoffeln. Yeah, I'm kind of potatoed. I mean, most Germans would probably say they're potatoed out by the time they've been in Germany. Most foreigners would probably say they're potatoed out by like year 4 in Germany. I enjoy roasts. Yeah, Bratkartoffeln. It's not bad. As a side dish, though, I could eat a whole bowl of potatoes. That's no problem, but more as like a side dish. The best film of Mad Max. Yeah, the Maultaschen, I normally get either the vegetarian version, or I think they label them as the Swabian version. I either get one of the two. But sometimes it's hard to find them. A lot of the time when I see them in the store, they must be very, very popular, especially when they go on Angebot, when they go on special. You kind of just take what you can get. How do you like Leipzig? When I'm there, when I'm not in Hildesheim, I think it's great because it is a bit bigger than Hildesheim. I've always said that I love Hildesheim as a city, but it just needs that little bit more. It needs to have, like, there's certain things that you have to go to Hanover for, and it is still quite a small town. Leipzig, I think, hits that middle point between a bigger city like Dresden, or I don't know whether Leipzig has the same population as Hanover or more. I feel like Leipzig has less. But it has some really nice stores, really nice restaurants, really nice stores, really nice parks, and there's the zoo. So I think that's it's a good mix between the two. It's not too big, but it's not too small. Am I going to see Catweasel in German? Is that a beard joke? I feel like someone made that comparison back when I had more of like, here was shorter and there was like pointier. I think someone actually said that I looked like him. Is that a beard joke? Is that a reference to that Nordwest by West? If it's not, I apologize for trying to pin that on you. But no, if I do go to the German cinemas, it'll probably be to see an original version video. Actually, maybe we should go to the cinemas and watch a German movie.
Can you remember when we had like the
when
last...
we actually went to the cinemas?
Yeah,
the last time we went to the cinemas, it was in Hildesheim.
Do you know what the charges for for the small laptop?
No.
Well.
Last time we went to the cinemas, it was in Hildesheim.
Yeah.
And it was to see...
I think it was in like 20...
It was in 2018. No, it was in 2019, late 2019.
God.
What did we go see? I can remember that was when you got the It cup, the biggest cup we own. It's like that big, and we use it for water. And I got like a bunch of what was it? I can't remember. I feel like it was like a kids movie, to be honest.
Oh, that was.
It might have been like Despicable Me or something.
Yeah,
something like that. So if we do go to the movies, maybe we go see a German version movie because I can understand what they say, and there's better choices because
you can watch German. I watch English.
The original versions are a little bit better for me, at least. Hello, I hate butchering people's name. Sebahabu. Anyway, hello. Do you visit the Bodensee? No, I didn't go to the Bodensee. Some of my teammates went there. We went to the zoo, and then there's another little area of Leipzig that's meant to be like the trendy restaurant area, like the hipstery kind of spot. We went for a walk through there. It was really, really pretty, but because that was when restrictions were still quite high, not a lot of stuff was open. So, but I haven't been to the Bodensee yet. I don't know. Catweasel? I feel like this is the dude that I feel like I do know who it is. Let me have a look. I'm going to Google this because I feel like in my head it's the guy, he's like the wizard that's... Yeah, it is. See, this is someone, I can't remember who it was, but see the guy's beard? It was back like when I was in Hildesheim. I had like, here was about this long, but here was really like short. And someone made the reference that I look like this guy. I do not look like this guy. Wait, ready? Yeah, I don't know the original Catweasel, but I have seen some advertisements for the new movie. Please, I hope someone didn't screenshot that comparison. Pascal, I play football in Leipzig for the Leipzig Kings, but I live in Hildesheim. Alex, great to have you around for the first hour and a half of the stream. Looking forward to seeing you if you do come to Leipzig. Please let me know. Reach out to me privately through Instagram. Anyone who makes takes their time out to come and visit, whether it be Hildesheim or whether it be Leipzig to come see a game, let me know. Let me know that you're going to be there because I want to spend time with you. I want to say hi. I want to meet you. So definitely anyone who's come into the game, specifically because they know that I play there, message me beforehand. I don't want to seem like I'm rude if I don't come over and say hi to you because it's a lot going through our head. Oh, he's a monk. Okay, he's a monk with a ginger beard. Okay, I thought he was a wizard. I didn't realize he was a monk because I think the new movie, he's got a wand or something. I've only seen the trailers. I don't know. So Seb, so your name's Sebastian, so it's Seb and then Ahabu. Seb Ahabu. Beard looks majestic. It's a little bit out of control right now. I have to trim it tonight or tomorrow. I got to clean this up and clean all this up. I have a... What? Do we have to tell him who Otto is? I don't know who Otto is. I'm guessing he's some kind of German comedian because he's doing Catweasel. His face actually does look familiar though. Let me have a look. Otto. If I just type in Otto Deutschland, do you think he'll come up? Every time I need to look... Wait, no, Otto's a store and it's gonna bring up the store Otto. Yeah, it bring up the store Otto. Let's put in Otto Deutschland actor. That might be Schauspieler. Otto Walkes? Is that how you say his last name? Walkes? He's Otto Gerhard Walkes, häufig einfach nur Otto genannt, ist ein deutscher Komiker, Comiczeichner. Oh, he draws comics, cool. Musiker, Schauspieler, Regisseur und Synchronsprecher. Humors, okay. Film and TV. He had okay, so there was Otto the film in 1985. He was also in The Seven Dwarfs in 2004. He had his own show in 1973. He had another... Wow, okay, this guy's been doing it for a long time. Otto's 11. He has a movie or a show called Kartoffelsalat. I want to see that. Oh, he voiced something in Ice Age. He voiced something in Ice Age? Ice Age Collision Course, Ice Age 3, Ice Age 2. He's been in all the Ice Ages. He was in the new Grinch movie too. He's Sid in Ice... No way. Really? No, he's not Sid. Oh, he voices the German Sid. Because you got dubbed versions. I was going to say, no, John Leguizamo is Sid in English. That makes sense. German, I got to remember. Oh, well, okay, he's a big actor. What else is there? Comedian Otto plays the main role. In the 60s, it was a famous British series with this monk who suddenly ends up in the 21st century with his herbal drink. Okay, so it's like it's a German version of this. Pascal, on Sunday, he's at the game Galaxy vs. Panthers. Galaxy vs. Panthers? Oh yeah, I just had the biggest mind blank. Vorklaw, you mean Breslau? Okay, cool. In Frankfurt. So you're playing or you're at the game as a Zuschauer? Sorry, Zuschauer, because in Germany you have to say Z like a TS. Is it at a Bali that says Zuschauer, like making fun of the way English people say it? Otto Walkes. He made the Ottifants. International candy store in Leipzig. They have Royal Donuts. They have Royal Donuts in Leipzig. If there's an international candy store, then I'm all for it. This is why I have my phone. Let's Google this. I'm not going to, you said don't nail you on it, but let's have a look. International candy store Leipzig. God, I love Google. Do you mean Weber shop? American candy shop? No, those are all. Oh, okay. Weber shop, Hauptbahnhof. That's not international. There's a Hallerenkugeln store in the Leipzig Hauptbahnhof that we went to last week before we left to come home, and that was 2 weeks ago. We went there in the morning because Marion had to buy something from DM, and it was very nice seeing all the different Hallerenkugeln flavors. I think it's from around there, I'm guessing. That's why there's a big store. Yeah, he speaks Sid and did the dubbing of Sid. Yeah, he did the dubbing of Sid. Okay. So he was invited to the US and they changed the way that Sid spoke in English to match it. Oh. Otti Fencer L. Okay, so that's where he does the cartoon comic writing. Otti Fence, okay. What's up, Justin? Liebe Grüße. When I say Liebe Grüße aus Hildesheim, like from me, from Hildesheim. How do I say like Liebe Grüße to where you are in Dresden? Take me to the candy shop. The House of Sweets in Hanover. I haven't been there in so long. I need to make another trip to get my American candy fix. Got to find the time to get that candy. He has a lighthouse? How much is this guy worth? With all this stuff he's doing, he has to be worth like a lot of money. Otto Walkes net worth. I don't know what net worth is in German, sorry. 8.5 million euro. Wow. Wait, no, that says 8.5 million, but then the next one down, which is networthroll.com, says 177 million. Now that one says he's worth 1.5, 8.5. 8.5 million euro net worth is what it says. I mean, if I had 8.5 million, I'd buy a lighthouse too. Unfortunately, I don't have 8.5 million. Did I watch Red Dog? That was in the cinemas. So my mum managed a theater, a cinema before she semi-retired, and I used to work there part-time. And when I actually worked there, Red Dog was in the cinema. So I didn't actually have time to watch it, but I did catch like 10-minute pieces of it when I used to walk down the aisle and check that no one was doing anything crazy or throwing popcorn at the screen. I think I caught like 10-minute pieces of most of the movies. I didn't see it in full, but I saw bits and pieces. But that's not really my genre of movie. Not really into that kind of stuff. I never saw the remake of Footloose. That was in the theaters at the same time as Red Dog. And also Super 8, the Steven Spielberg film, was in the movies around that same time. Is it the Red Dog that I'm thinking of? There's an Australian version of Red Dog. Rothund. Is it red? Like, man, I'm terrible with Google. I just type in Red Dog and it brings up like a fox. The one from 2011, Australian movie. That's the one you mean? Or do you mean Clifford, the big red dog? Yeah, the Aussie one from 2011. I did see a video on YouTube a couple of weeks. It was a pretty new one and had so Daniel, you're probably talking about Clifford, the big red dog. They're turning that into a movie, the children's book. That's about to come out. But Red Dog, what Martz is talking about is an older movie. It was made in Australia. It's about a red collie that I think he follows a guy, or he's in a town and no one knows who he belongs to, something like that. Yeah, Australian movie. Thought so. Only Australian movie I really know that much of is Crocodile Dundee. Didn't watch Red Dog. Didn't even watch the movie that was called Australia. How un-Australian am I? I haven't seen a movie named after my country with Hugh Jackman, who is like our biggest export. Didn't see it. Sorry, Hugh Jackman. Sorry, Australia. First bite of food for the day. Danke, Elmer. I'm trying to think of my favorite movies. Now we're on the subject of movies. This is like dreamland for me. Anything Jim Carrey. I love Wolf of Wall Street. I love Draft Day. What was the movie I watched the other day on Netflix that I really enjoyed? Love superhero movies, all the Avengers movies, even DC. Still need to see the Snyder Cut. Really need to see the Snyder Cut. But that, again, Snyder Cut's like 4 hours long. I don't have 4 hours to watch a movie right now. Yeah, Kelpie. That's Kelpie cattle dog. We're also super excited for the season 3 of You on Netflix. We watched that. That's super, super excited for that. What did we watch the other day? When I say the other day, I mean a couple weeks ago. Army of the Dead. That was good. We watched that when we were in the first week we were in Leipzig. Red Dog is like imagine Blackie is let loose on a town, but he does the right thing. Oh yeah, I watched Tenet. That's what I hadn't watched Tenet in like, I wanted to watch it for like a year, and I finally watched it. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, Justice League, 4 hours and 2 minutes. Love to, but can't. Maybe the bus ride to Stuttgart or the ride to Stuttgart if I can get a copy on my phone somehow or on someone's iPad. Joker. That's what I watched the other day. I watched like 30 minutes of it with Joaquin Phoenix. Love that movie as well. no, definitely need to catch up on my. I saw A Quiet Place 2 is coming out. I still haven't even seen the first one. Still haven't seen the first one. Also, really want to watch. If anyone has Apple TV, and you've seen the show C with Jason Momoa, where everyone is blind, season 2 of that is coming out, and that was a really interesting show. I really enjoyed that, and season 2 looks really exciting. So, hoping I can get time to watch that when it comes out. Has anyone seen Boiler Room? Oh, speaking about Wolf of Wall Street before, there's a movie called Boiler Room from, I think, the 90s. One of my friends I was talking to about it, he didn't know of it. That's also one of my favorite movies. Has a very young Giovanni Ribisi, very young Ben Affleck, very young Vin Diesel as well in the movie. It's also one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. And we have, let's say, 8.5 minutes. Let's cut it at 2 hours. Any other questions? Throw them out there. Trainspotting. Great classic movie. It's like, Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, and Inferno, the trilogy. War movie where Koreans occupy Australia. Australian war movies. I know there's War Horse, but I don't think that's Australia. Marts, okay, if you have to say goodbye, that is fine. We're only going to be around for a couple more minutes, but thank you so much for being here for the couple of hours. Australian war movies. There was War Horse, but I think that was made by someone in Australia. It wasn't actually Australian. Suicide Squad. Really like that. I'm really excited. There's a video game coming next year of Suicide Squad. There's also the new one being remade, but I saw the trailer and I wasn't really sold on the whole more actors Suicide Squad. Tomorrow when the war began, Gallipoli. Trying to think of what you might have been talking of. There's Kokoda, which is up in Papua New Guinea. Schindler's List. I don't know which movie you might be talking about the war movie from Australia. There's the one that Angelina Jolie, but I don't think that's the same thing. I don't think that's Australia. Angelina Jolie war movie. Unbroken, but I don't think that's. Yeah, no, it's a US track athlete. So no, it's not the one I'm thinking of. That doesn't have anything to do with Australia. There are young people sitting in the bush and they don't realize the North Koreans invading them. Don't think I've. Oh, hold on. This might be the one. Is it based on a book? I think I read this book in high school. Is it called Tomorrow When the War Began? That's the one. I read the book. It's Australian. I didn't know whether it was Koreans that were invading, but I know someone invaded the country. but I don't think that they said it was Koreans. Plot. Telephone service. It doesn't say anything about who the actual war was with, but that's the only war movie I really. Tomorrow When the War Began is the one it might be. I only know the German title, which is completely different. So let me see. Tomorrow When the War Began, German. Is it called? I'm trying to see what it's called in German. How hard is it to find what it's tomorrow when the no? It was called the same in German. So no, Morgen war Krieg erscheinen. Morgen war Krieg erscheinen is what it's called in German. Maybe it's not that one though. All movies with Johnny Depp, I agree. I definitely agree with that. In terms of Quentin Tarantino, I like his stuff. I don't follow it enough. I don't watch his stuff enough to I still have to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but yeah, I like Kill Bill. I like Pulp Fiction, but definitely agree with the Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp and also the director, Tim Burton movies. Love them. Absolutely love them. Anything Johnny Depp, Tim Burton himself. Yeah, that's right down my alley as well. So I agree with that. So yeah, I'm not sure the war movie about. I don't really watch too much war genre movies, so it's probably not the best one that I can kind of guess what it could be. That's the only one I can guess. Also, like I like kids movies. When I say kids movies, I like animation as well. I grew up when Toy Story was a big thing, so Toy Story is still like I had a Woody doll and a Buzz doll when I was a kid. So that kind of Pixar era of Toy Story and Monsters, Inc., that was right when I was in the perfect age zone for that. So still have a real soft spot for Pixar, the old school Pixar. So it's definitely still like getting on and watching some cartoons. I still need to see Loki on Amazon. On Disney Plus. Loki and also WandaVision. Everyone says WandaVision's so great, but same thing. It came out like as everything was getting a bit crazy for me. So still need to sit down and watch WandaVision. X-Men, yes. It was tomorrow when the war began. I'm pretty good with this, even though I haven't got too far into that genre. I can still at least name what movie you're talking about. Yes, that's true. Johnny Depp and Tim Burton and Helena Bonham Carter, they're actually married in real life. Also liked Fight Club. I don't think that was Tim Burton, but Helena Bonham Carter and Brad Pitt and what's his name? Edward Norton. Great film. Like Fight Club. Thank you, Anne. If you're there live, let me know. If not, I'll wave to the camera if I see it. But thank you very much for the lovely words. It's glad that you could be here and sit down and talk and watch. Meatloaf, he was in Fight Club. He played one of the extras. I can remember that. Yeah, Edward Norton. Eddie the Eagle. We watched that one. That was actually a really good movie. I enjoyed Eddie the Eagle. 4 Rooms and Jackie Brown from Tarantino. Okay. Yeah. How can you not be an X-Men fan when you're Australian, when Hugh Jackman, like, as Wolverine? You have to honor the X-Men when your national treasure is playing one of the main, or if not the main role from those movies. Also have a soft spot for both Patrick Stewart and I can never remember the actor's name that plays Magneto. Magneto actor. What's his name? Ian McKellen. My buddy Gandalf. Lord of the Rings, X-Men, Magneto. How can you not love him? Did I look at the German movie Das Boot? No, I think I wanted to watch the movie Balloon, but I didn't look into Das Boot. Das Boot. Oh, I was in my English head then. I thought Das Boot was like boot, like the shoe. It means the boat. Whoops. So it's about boat. 1941 on board the U-96. Das den Auftrag hat englische Transportschiffe. Oh, so it's on board a submarine that has to sink a English transport ship. Werner soll der Heimatfront von den Heldentaten des Kapitans und seiner Mannschaft berichten. Doch schnell wird der Jäger umgejagt und der Athletic entpuppt sich. So soon the hunter becomes the hunted. Jürgen Prochnow. Hey, he's in Beerfest. Jürgen Prochnow. He's it's probably the worst movie to talk to about with Germans, but the funny comedy movie Beerfest, he plays the big head of the German side of the movie. Yeah, so submarine. Okay, cool. Das Boot. I'll have to look into that. Okay, Bug Guys, 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 25 seconds. I'm going to call it an afternoon. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to eat my hot dogs now and relax. If, again, any of you guys are coming to Leipzig for the game or coming to any of our games, please message me and please let me know. I'd love to say hi, get a photo, have a chat in person. I love the fact that I can be more personal with you guys. But thank you to everyone that stuck around, that came in and said hi, that listened to my pile of excuses as to why I haven't been around. As always, I always find myself promising to be better when it comes to posting videos, but I appreciate the understanding from a lot of you. A lot of you have messaged me in the meantime, in the last 2 months, keeping me updated and talking with me and me explaining to all of you what's going on. So I appreciate the kind words and also the people checking in to make sure everything's okay. Everything is okay. It's just a little bit hectic when something like the ELF happens and you're a part of it. It does bring in a lot of commitment and it does consume a lot of time. So I'm not gone. I'm not going anywhere. YouTube is going to be something that I do for a very, very long time. I just ask for you guys, the audience, to bear with me. Normally when I go home in the off season, back in 2018 to 2019, I didn't make a lot of videos. I'm kind of going through that at the moment, but yeah, it's just that time where a lot of things happen and it's hard to kind of balance everything. So bear with me again. As I said, apologies. It'll get better as things get more normal and the year, or not even really the year, and this month goes on. Hoping definitely this week, because it's a home game, I'm going to be rested. I'm going to be refreshed. I'm going to have time. There will definitely be a home game vlog this week. So excited to bring you along to the ELF game day, the first game day of the Leipzig Kings against the Cologne Centurions. Hope to see some of you guys there. If not, thank you very much for your well wishes in the chat. and any that I get from now until Sunday. But other than that, I will log off now, say thank you guys so much for stopping again. And I'll see you guys, whether it be in the next live stream, if it's something that I have to do just to fill the time so you guys aren't left empty-handed, or with the next video. So again, thank you guys so much for stopping by, listening to my update as to what's going on, and being as understanding as I thought you all would be. So again, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.